Here are 13 of the most embarrassing or shocking scandals from Hollywood's golden age, moments the studios desperately tried to hide, but couldn't. In 1921, silent film star Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle became embroiled in one of Hollywood's first major scandals. At a raucous party at San Francisco's St. Francis Hotel, actress Virginia Rappe became violently ill and later died from a ruptured bladder. Arbuckle was accused of raping her, with the press and public quickly turning against him. The scandal was sensationalized by newspapers, painting Arbuckle as a symbol of Hollywood's moral decay. 3 highly publicized trials followed. The first 2 ended in hung juries, but in the third, Arbuckle was acquitted, with the jury issuing a rare formal apology. Despite the legal outcome, the damage to Arbuckle's reputation was irreversible. Studios distanced themselves, and his films were pulled from theaters. Though he later worked under a pseudonym as a director, his days as a leading actor were over. The Arbuckle case exposed the underbelly of Hollywood's glamorous image and sparked calls for greater censorship and moral oversight. The industry responded by establishing the Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America, MPPDA, ushering in stricter moral codes. Arbuckle's downfall became a cautionary tale of how quickly fame could be destroyed, and how studios would act to protect their image at all costs. In 1935, during the filming of Call of the Wild, Loretta Young and Clark Gable shared a brief but intense affair. At the time, Gable was married to Maria Langham, making the relationship scandalous and risky for both actors' careers. Not long after, Loretta Young discovered she was pregnant. Because premarital pregnancy was taboo in Hollywood's conservative culture, Young kept her pregnancy a secret from the public and studios. To protect her reputation and career, she arranged to hide her pregnancy during filming and later gave birth in secret. Loretta then publicly adopted her daughter Judy Lewis, never acknowledging the baby was actually her own child by Gable. This secret remained hidden for decades. Judy grew up believing she was adopted and unaware of her biological father's identity until she was an adult. The truth only came out much later, revealing the extent to which Hollywood stars had to conceal personal scandals to protect their images and livelihoods. Loretta Young's story reflects the harsh realities of the Golden Age studio system, where stars were pressured to maintain a flawless public persona, often at great personal cost. Her experience remains one of the most poignant examples of the sacrifices actors made to navigate Hollywood's strict moral codes. Patricia Douglas attended a party organized by MGM Studios. During the event, she experienced a serious incident involving inappropriate behavior by a studio employee. When Douglas reported what had happened, MGM took steps to protect its reputation, which included efforts to discredit her and prevent the matter from becoming public. As a result, Douglas's career was severely affected. This situation reflects a broader pattern in Hollywood's golden age, where studios prioritized maintaining a polished public image over addressing the concerns of individuals involved in difficult situations. Powerful institutions often controlled the narrative, limiting transparency and making it difficult for people to speak out or seek justice. For many years, Patricia Douglas's experience remained largely unknown, highlighting how systemic challenges prevented open discussions about such incidents. Recently, her story has gained attention as part of a wider effort to acknowledge past injustices and promote fairness and safety within the entertainment industry. Today, the industry emphasizes the importance of creating supportive environments where all individuals are treated with respect and can raise concerns without fear. Patricia Douglas's story serves as an important reminder of the need for continued progress toward accountability, transparency, and protection for everyone. Joan Crawford and a private film believed to have been made early in her career. According to some reports, an FBI file suggested that MGM paid a significant sum to ensure that this film remained hidden from the public. The alleged film was considered risque for the time, and the studio reportedly wanted to avoid any damage to Crawford's carefully cultivated reputation. MGM's efforts to keep such materials out of the public eye reflected the broader practice of tightly controlling stars' images and personal histories. While specific details remain limited, this story highlights the lengths to which studios would go to maintain a glamorous and scandal-free image for their actors. It also shows how early Hollywood managed private and sensitive content to prevent potential public controversy. Joan Crawford's experience is just one example of the complex relationship between studios and their stars, illustrating the importance placed on reputation and public perception during the era. These efforts contributed to the enduring mystique of Hollywood's golden age but also concealed many personal truths. Ingrid Bergman became involved in a personal and professional relationship with Italian director Roberto Rossellini. At the time, Bergman was married to her first husband. Their relationship began while working together on films, and it eventually led to Bergman's divorce. The news of Bergman's pregnancy and swift remarriage to Rossellini caused significant public controversy, particularly in the United States, where societal norms were more conservative. The situation sparked widespread media attention and led to public criticism from various figures, including a U.S. senator who openly condemned Bergman's actions. Despite the backlash, Bergman and Rossellini continued both their personal and professional partnership, creating several notable films together. Over time, public opinion softened, and Bergman's career endured. This episode illustrates the cultural expectations and pressures faced by public figures during Hollywood's golden age, as well as the challenges actors encountered when their personal lives became the subject of intense scrutiny. Bergman's experience remains a notable example of how societal values influenced the reception of personal decisions by celebrities, reflecting broader themes about privacy, morality, and media coverage in that era. Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich were two of the most iconic European actresses who captivated audiences worldwide. Over the years, persistent rumors circulated suggesting that the two stars shared a close personal relationship that went beyond friendship. These whispers sparked public fascination and speculation. Both Garbo and Dietrich were known for their privacy and guarded personal lives, often carefully managing their public images amid the strict social norms of the time. Despite the rumors, neither star ever publicly confirmed any romantic involvement. For decades, these stories remained unverified and were generally dismissed by the actresses and their representatives. The rumors reflect the curiosity and intrigue that surrounded Hollywood's glamorous elite, where personal relationships were often the subject of gossip and intense media interest. They also highlight how societal attitudes toward relationships and privacy shaped the narratives presented about stars during that era. Today, the story of Garbo and Dietrich's rumored relationship remains part of Hollywood's rich history of mystery and myth. It illustrates how stars navigated public perception while maintaining their personal boundaries in a time when such topics were rarely openly discussed. In 1943, Errol Flynn, a well-known Hollywood actor famous for his swashbuckling film roles and charismatic on-screen presence, faced serious legal charges involving two underage individuals. The case received widespread media coverage and drew intense public attention. As Flynn was one of the most prominent stars of the era, the trial centered on allegations brought forward by two individuals, and Flynn firmly denied all accusations. After a highly publicized court process, he was acquitted of all charges. Despite the verdict, the trial had a lasting effect on his public image and career, sparking debate about celebrity influence and media attention. Flynn's personal life had long been a subject of public interest, and the trial added to his already controversial reputation. Some viewed the outcome as a reflection of his fame and the protective nature of the studio system, which often supported high-profile actors during difficult moments. This case remains a significant part of Hollywood's legal history, highlighting the intersection of celebrity, law, and public perception. It also reflects how the entertainment industry in the 1940s handled serious allegations involving major stars, often balancing public relations, legal outcomes, and the need to maintain a star's marketability during a highly scrutinized era. In 1959, actor George Reeves, best known for his role as Superman in the popular television series Adventures of Superman, was found deceased at his home in Los Angeles. The official cause of death was ruled as suicide. However, the circumstances surrounding the incident led to widespread public speculation and ongoing debate. At the time, Reeves was facing professional challenges, including difficulty finding new roles after being strongly identified with the Superman character. Despite the official ruling, some individuals questioned the details of the case, leading to various unconfirmed theories. These included speculation about his personal relationships and possible tensions in his private life. One theory suggested a connection to Eddie Mannix, a powerful studio executive, due to Reeves's reported past relationship with Mannix's wife. However, no concrete evidence ever supported this claim, and authorities closed the case as a suicide. The mystery of George Reeves's death remains one of Hollywood's most talked about unsolved stories. It reflects the pressures of fame, the struggles actors can face when typecast, and the way personal tragedies were handled in the entertainment industry during that era. The case continues to capture public interest, blending fact, rumor, and the enduring mystique of classic Hollywood. Judy Garland, one of the most beloved stars of Hollywood's golden age, rose to fame at a young age under contract with MGM Studios. Best known for her iconic role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, Garland became a symbol of talent and charm. However, behind the scenes, she faced significant personal and professional challenges. During her time at MGM, Garland was placed under intense pressure to maintain a specific image that aligned with the studio's expectations. Reports from later biographies and interviews suggest that, in order to manage her schedule and appearance, she was given medications intended to suppress appetite and increase energy. These practices, common in the industry at the time, were rarely questioned, especially when applied to young performers. Over time, these early experiences had a lasting effect on Garland's health and well-being. As she grew older, she struggled with physical and emotional difficulties, many of which were linked to her demanding early career. Garland's story has since become an example of the pressures child stars faced in the studio system. Her legacy remains one of immense talent, but also serves as a reminder of the importance of supporting performers' health and autonomy in all stages of their careers. Tallulah Bankhead was a bold and charismatic actress who became one of the most distinctive figures of Hollywood's golden age. Known for her powerful stage presence, sharp wit, and unique voice, she appeared in both theater and film, earning critical acclaim for performances in productions like Lifeboat, 1944, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Bankhead was also known for her confident, unconventional lifestyle, which stood out in an era when public figures were expected to maintain carefully controlled images. She was open, humorous, and outspoken, traits that sometimes challenged the social norms of the time. Unlike many of her peers, she was unafraid to express her individuality, both in public and private life. Her personality, combined with her talent, earned her a devoted fan base, but it also brought scrutiny from a society that was often unprepared for such candor, especially from women in the public eye. Despite personal and professional ups and downs, Bankhead remained unapologetically herself. Today, Tallulah Bankhead is remembered not only for her artistic contributions but also for her fearless authenticity. Her life and career continue to be seen as ahead of their time, reflecting the struggles and triumphs of navigating fame while staying true to one's identity. During Hollywood's golden age, Shirley Temple was the most beloved child star, symbolizing innocence and charm. However, in the mid-1930s, her family became embroiled in a rare and damaging scandal. Shirley Temple's father, George Temple, was accused of attempting to bribe studio executives to secure better contracts and more favorable roles for his daughter. The scandal shocked fans and the industry alike, as child stars were usually protected from such controversies. The bribery allegations emerged amid intense competition among studios to control Shirley's career. George Temple's aggressive tactics were seen as an attempt to manipulate the studio system, which was already notorious for its strict contracts and control over actors' lives. While Shirley herself remained untouched by the accusations and continued to be adored by the public, the scandal cast a shadow over her family's reputation. The incident highlighted the darker side of Hollywood's glamour, where even the most innocent stars' careers could be complicated by behind-the-scenes power struggles and unethical behavior. Despite this, Shirley Temple's popularity endured, and she eventually transitioned into a successful career beyond childhood stardom. The bribery scandal remains one of the few public controversies involving a child star's family during the Golden Age. In 1942, Errol Flynn, one of Hollywood's most charismatic leading men, became the center of a sensational scandal when he was charged with statutory rape. The allegations came from two underage girls who claimed Flynn had engaged in sexual activities with them while they were under the legal age of consent. The case quickly captured public attention, tarnishing Flynn's clean-cut swashbuckler image. The trial was highly publicized, with the media eager to dissect every detail of Flynn's private life. Despite the serious nature of the charges, Flynn's defense team argued vigorously that the relationships were consensual and that the girls had misrepresented their ages. After a dramatic courtroom battle, Flynn was ultimately acquitted due to lack of sufficient evidence. Though legally cleared, the scandal left a lasting stain on Flynn's reputation. Hollywood studios, always concerned about public image, faced pressure but chose to continue working with him, banking on his star power. The trial exposed the darker undercurrents of Tinseltown's glitz and glamour, reminding fans that their beloved stars often led complicated and sometimes troubling lives behind the scenes. Even years later, the shadow of the trial lingered, affecting how history remembered Errol Flynn beyond his swashbuckling roles. Marlene Dietrich, the glamorous German-born actress and singer, was one of Hollywood's biggest stars during the Golden Age. Despite her fame, she became the subject of damaging rumors suggesting she sympathized with the Nazis early in her career. These accusations were particularly harmful during World War II, when anti-Nazi sentiment was at its peak in America. In reality, Dietrich was staunchly anti-Nazi and outspoken against Hitler's regime. She famously rejected offers to return to Germany and perform for Nazi propaganda efforts. Instead, she became an American citizen and actively supported the Allied cause, entertaining troops on the front lines and participating in USO tours. Dietrich even worked with the OSS, Office of Strategic Services, using her language skills and celebrity status to aid the war effort. However, the rumors about her alleged Nazi sympathies persisted, fueled by her German heritage and the propaganda wars of the era. Hollywood studios and the press often had to walk a fine line, balancing public perception and political sensitivities. Despite the controversy, Dietrich's courageous anti-Nazi stance eventually overshadowed the accusations, cementing her legacy as a bold and principled figure in Hollywood history.